Hey there, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of Infinity Jewels. I am your host, Julie, and I run the blog Infinity Jewels. This podcast was mostly made in order to express myself and get my geek flag out there. My blog is mostly consistent of pretty much everything and anything that I like. It can range from geeky fashion to a new horror show on Netflix and pretty much everything in between. I co-hosted another podcast prior to this called Roundtable Pod Racers with Anna, who is the best podcast host, and you should definitely check it out because she's still doing episodes. And I just really loved podcasting. I feel like it's such a great outlet. I like speaking, probably a little too much, and I just wanted to continue doing that. And this has been kind of a plan for months now, and I've been procrastinating it like crazy. So I decided to get my head in the game and finally do the thing that I've been wanting to do. So today I'm going to have a special guest for you. Well, every episode is going to be a special guest, but I've known this guy for 10 years now. He's been my really good friend, and he's recently getting into something that I'm not too familiar with, but I'm very into. I'll let him explain. And he's also kind of making a name for himself in the same way that I feel like I would be starting this podcast. And I also just want to get really back into writing again and producing again and just making content for everybody and anybody and maybe nobody to listen to, but for me to just express everything. So I hope you all like it. Every episode is going to be a little bit different because it'll be more so based on the guest than myself. Of course, you know, I will always try to talk about the geeky things I like, and I will always try to provoke a little bit of spooky talk. So ghost stories or anything spooky. I know I have one lined up who doesn't really have any ghost stories, but he expresses horror in the same way that I do, and he feels the same way about spooky things that I do. So I think it'll be fun to talk about it, at least. And yeah, so I hope you all enjoy it. Yeah, I think that's about it for an intro. I can't really think of anything else. It'll probably come later in the episode. And as a full disclaimer, this episode will probably be a train wreck, but I hope you all stay and listen in on the fun that will incur. Stay tuned. Yeah, so we're recording.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
Hey, Julie.
Hey, man.
How's it going?
How are you today?
Good. Welcome to my podcast.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
No what? No? Okay. Hey, Julie. Welcome to your podcast.
Thanks. Yeah, it's good to be here.
This is my guest, Julie.
This is my guest, Javi. Also known as Bang Chan.
Hey, that's me.
Papa Bang.
Papa Bang. That's what they call me. It's just me.
All right, so I already pre-warned them all that this is probably going to be a train wreck.
All of your viewers?
Yeah.
Oh, that's...
All two of them.
Well, don't...
My mom.
Hey, Mom.
Yeah.
Listen, you can't just tell you got to let them find out on their own.
That's true. They
because
have
if you tell them right away, they might not listen. You know?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Big brain.
If you tell, let them find out when they're like 30 minutes in. At that point, they're too committed.
And then they just keep listening.
Then they just keep listening.
There you go.
They're not going to back down now.
All right. So Javi, what do you do?
What do I do? Right now.
So tell us about yourself.
So right now I do nothing because I work for the government, and the government is shut down. So I literally I go to sleep at 4 a.m. Sometimes later I wake up at noon.
Wow. That's me.
Yeah, and that's it. That's all.
What do you do for the government?
I'm just a computer person.
Not gonna lie, he helped me figure out computer stuff right before we started this.
I've set up this podcast almost.
Yeah, he did. I'll figure it all out.
She'll learn. It's fine. What are friends for?
There you go. I've known this guy for 10 whole years, a whole decade.
Are we on 10 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
I know.
Yikes.
Yeah. We have seen each other in the ugly middle school days.
Yeah, back when we were cringy. Now only Julie's cringy.
Yeah, and pimply still.
That's not that bad, Julie. Maybe it's the hair problem.
It's the hair.
Yeah, it's hair gets oily.
Yeah,
it's a rough life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Javi has been a gamer since I've known him. He's a thick ass gamer girl.
I'm that thicky gamer girl.
Thicky gamer girl. Javi, tell us about that.
Me playing games?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I'm as far as me playing games. I don't think I'm much different than I think it's a big generational thing. I think most people our age
play games.
Yeah, everybody plays
Fortnite,
games
right?
now. Yeah, I love Fortnite. Love Fortnite.
We love Fortnite.
I know all the dances.
Yeah?
I love Ninja.
Okay, well, we're going to get a video clip of Javi doing every Fortnite dance for 30 seconds each.
30 seconds each.
Or 30 seconds
not even
each,
like 5 seconds long.
Nope, it's going to be a workout routine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down to get buff. Some buff Fortnite.
Buff Fortnite. There you go. Every kill is a push-up.
Good, because I suck at that game. I'm not doing shit.
So Javi's also a new streamer. He streams on twitch.tv. Wanna tell us about that pop-up thing?
I'll tell you that she forgot a very important aspect of twitch.tv, that after that you gotta put /BangChan TV, and that's where you find me.
There you go. I am one of his subs. She's a Twitch Prime sub, so I don't give him real money.
Yeah. Only because if your friends pay real money,
it's fake.
Yeah, it's fake. They're dumb as fuck.
Yeah.
They don't get it. It's not about the culture. But yeah, I've been streaming seriously for how long has it been? What are we in, January?
Yep.
Wow. It's been like what number month is like September? 9?
9.
Wow. It's been like 5-6 months.
Okay. So
of serious streaming.
Since September?
Maybe a little bit before.
Okay.
I forgot what month before September.
I feel like I remember that. During the summer months, you didn't say, I have to stream as often as you do now.
Yeah, because I think I remember September because that's when I became affiliated, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think that's the timeline.
What does it take to be affiliated?
It's pretty easy. It's a weird goal. I think they actually hit it pretty perfectly where it's difficult enough where if you don't actually care to put in the time, you won't get it. But if you are somebody who's, committed to kind of building your brand and putting in the time, you actually hit it fairly easily. It's not that big of a challenge. You need to hit 50 followers on Twitch. Stream for, I want to say it's 8 or 12 hours.
Oh, that's not hard.
Over 30 days.
Oh,
so
that's still not bad.
No, that's super free. That's like
Don't you do that in like less than a week?
I do that in a day.
Yeah.
In a day, yeah. Stream on, I think it's 3 separate days. Also across 30 days. Also really easy. You know, that's 3 Saturdays out of 4.
Yeah.
In a month.
Okay.
And the one that most people have problems with is reaching an average of 3 concurrent viewers, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're starting, Twitch is a big place. A lot of people stream, a lot of bigger streamers, a lot of higher quality streamers than you who already have like cemented their place in there.
Yeah.
So getting a couple viewers can be really difficult, more difficult than it sounds.
I remember we were talking about that recently, that like the more popular the game, almost the harder it is to get viewers.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a lot of variables that go into, why people watch certain streamers and stuff.
Okay.
And you kind of got to play off your strengths in order to kind of make it somewhere.
What game do you feel brings you the most viewers that you've played?
Over time, I mean, it depends, because sometimes you get a lot of viewership playing random one-off games that you don't anticipate.
Papers, Please?
Like Papers, Please. I streamed Papers, Please for 3 days straight, because for some reason... Not because they had good viewership, it's because for some reason, even though I had never played the game before, decided I would try to get all the endings. There's 20 endings in the game.
Holy shit.
That require, a good amount of them require some, like, replaying through certain things. So it takes a while. Especially if you're bad at the game like I am. Like I said, I had never played it a whole lot before that. Had never beaten it before that. I didn't know any of the endings. Yeah, I kind of played it passively every once in a while for a couple minutes at a time. So I kind of sat there, went through the whole thing, and it netted me, on average, like 8-9 viewers.
I remember.
Is again, it doesn't sound like a big number, but it's a lot when you're a growing streamer.
I remember I went in and I saw like 13 one day, and I was like, wow.
I'm just there. They're literally, for the people that don't know, Papers, Please, it's a game that's like all sprites. It's all like 2D pixelated, and all you do is allow or deny people access into your fictional country.
It's pretty messed up, but also very true
and like
to.
Yeah, and then like there's like terrorist attacks, and like every day you're given new rules. Like, oh, people from this country are banned as soon as you see their passport. Like, detain them, or if like somebody's weight is off, you have to like scan them and like see if they have any contraband on them. It gets really in depth, and it's cool, but after you've played it for several hours trying to get every ending, by the end of it, I never wanted to play that game ever again.
And then there's our boy Georgie. Character in the game who keeps showing up with stupider things like no passport and then a passport drawn in crayon. And he's an old man. Yeah, I thought he'd be a little kid.
But he's like so happy all the time to see you, even though you denied him.
Okay, I'll come back, sir.
There was a playthrough where I actually denied him every time, and I like, except for the one time, there's like 1 or 2 times that he's actually allowed in. But other than that, like, he starts like bringing in drugs and stuff.
Oh shit!
And like, I've usually let him through every time, but because he's our boy, our boy Georgie.
Georgie's our boy.
Yeah, and then but then I wanted to know what would happen if I just didn't let him in.
Okay.
So I started like detaining him, having him arrested for like having drugs, and he still would be like, "Oh, it's okay, you're just doing your job," as he got dragged away by police. It's like so sick.
And then there's the whole level of the game that we didn't talk about where you're an employee, so you're getting money for your family.
Yeah, so you get money based on like how well you do in the day. So the more people you let in or out or detain, you get some money. And then at the end of the day, you have to distribute those funds. You have to pay rent for your housing is automatically taken out, and then you have to decide if you want to or not to pay for food, heat, and if they get sick, medicine for your family. And they can they can die, they can do this and that, they can be
So
hungry.
It's basically an adult simulator.
Yeah, so I put for 3 days on, in my video game streaming platform, I worked a real job.
Yeah.
For 3 days.
Because you're not working a real job right now.
Yeah, so the government was shut down, so I missed
not in
real
your
work.
game.
Yeah, not in our Stotska. That government was up and running.
So, you've been gaming for years now. Like I said, you've been gaming since I knew you. How did you start playing video games? Like, what was your first memory, if you have it?
I have a very vague memory of my brother owning some sort of Nintendo console.
Okay.
I want to say it was like a Super Nintendo.
All right.
But I barely remember playing on it at all. So even like back then, I didn't play that many games. I just kind of played because I was a kid. It was a distraction or whatever.
Yeah.
My first real clear memories of gaming were back when like the PlayStation 1 was a thing, and I was playing like Crash Bandicoot.
Hell yeah.
Some old like Dragon Ball games. I remember playing Tomb Raider for a little bit.
Okay.
Jack and Daxter, was that on PlayStation 1?
I believe so.
Maybe it was. I can't remember, but just playing those types of games. Crash Team Racing. Classic.
Good game.
I think that's
Crash Bash.
I think Crash Team Racing is being remade. So that's going to be take a hit of that.
Oh.
Yeah.
My first gaming experiences were on Hooked on Phonics. And
what is that?
I don't even remember. It's like some ABC's program that my mom made.
So like educational game?
Yeah.
You're so lame, Julie.
Oh yeah. Back on the computer, and then other random computer games. Like I remember like the Disney Channel games.
Oh, well, those were sick.
Those were the best.
Yeah, playing like Cartoon Network games.
Hell yeah.
Boy, that was me for a while.
Oh yeah.
But I'm sure, yeah. Like
I want to find all of those all over again.
I think there's like a whole website that has them archived.
I've heard. I gotta find the Teen Titans one.
Which one?
Battle. I don't know. I read it the other day.
Whatever.
Yeah, doesn't matter. But I also played on Xbox, like the original Xbox. I played a little bit on PlayStation 1, but I think when I really got into it was more like PlayStation 2 era.
Okay.
Yeah, and also the Crash games. Ratchet and Clank was a big one for me.
Ratchet and Clank was a big one for me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
sure.
still have that game, actually.
Oh yeah? Mm-hmm. Wow, we should play.
We should. I was actually trying to set up my PlayStation 2 yesterday because Kingdom Hearts is coming out.
Oh yeah.
So I wanted to play a little bit of 1 and 2. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. Most people I know that are going to be playing...
Are replaying the games?
Replaying all the old ones, yeah.
They're so good. You never were into them, right?
No, I don't know a thing about them. Okay. I know Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
I know Keyblades.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure there's a guy named Sora in it.
Yes, that's the main character. I'm impressed.
Nailed it. Okay.
Yeah, good job.
That's all I've got.
That's good enough.
I saw somebody playing one of the older ones, and I saw Stitch in it, and I was like, oh, this game is sick. It's got
Stitch is in the second one, and I think he's like a little like thing that you can summon to help you out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's right.
And he like jumps on you. He's really cute.
Yeah, he's sick.
So what would you consider some of your favorite games?
My favorite games?
Yeah.
Of all time?
If you can choose.
I mean, yeah, I've got a list.
Okay.
The Halo games, I guess not even the earlier ones. Some of the later ones were good too. Like Halo 2 to Reach and everything in between. Loved all those games.
2, 3, and Reach.
2, 3, Reach, and ODST.
Okay,
which is just like 3 plus, I guess. But yeah, loved all those games.
Those were very, very, very impactful for me too.
Yeah. Crash Bandicoot, the original ones. The ones that came later just weren't that good. Wrath of Vortex, I would argue, was the last good one.
Yeah, I own that one as well.
Crash 1, 2, Warped, and Wrath of Vortex, Crash Bandicoot, the team racing I talked about. Those were all really good. The ones that came after were a little whatever.
Yeah, when they made him stupid or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. Like, yeah, I just don't know what they did.
Yeah,
wrong,
it was a little funky.
Yeah, those games, Assassin's Creed games, I love.
Oh man,
the trilogy. Oddly enough, the trilogy starts at number 2.
I remember you explaining.
Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, and Revelations. That trilogy, near and dear to my heart.
I remember there was like a year that Javi and I stayed up on Xbox Live till like 2 a.m. every single day during the summer after 8th grade, I want to say. And
maybe.
It might have been. I don't know. It was when one of the Batman games were out and I was playing it like a shit ton. And so I was playing one of the Arkham games and he was playing Assassin's Creed again. And he was just hunting for like 100 feathers throughout the whole game.
That was Assassin's Creed 2.
Because he was trying to get 100%.
It took me a while, but I did it.
You did it.
It took me like 4 tries because for some reason I had a map. And I was like crossing them off as I went along. But every single time, I was always left with one more.
And he was always really frustrated.
Yeah, it was a triggering experience. But let's see. Actually, to this day, I think my most vivid memory of games is like in Assassin's Creed 2, there's like very early on, you're like racing your brother up to the top of like a church. Okay. It's very early on. It's kind of like how they teach you the parkour system. Okay. And they get up to the tower and then like they have like a little like sweet little like brother conversation about how cool their life is because they're like climbing shit and they're like young, they're just kind of dicking around. And they do like this big pan of like Italy, and then like there's like this really good music playing in the background, like the logo shows up and they put like the title of the game. That was like my first experience with like what would eventually become next generation gaming of like big open cities, Yeah. I mean, it existed already before that, but that was my first experience with it. And that specific scene, to this day, I still think about it, of like how like impactful that was for me. Aww. Ever since that, I've loved those games.
Thinking about it, yeah, because a lot of the games that we played, even Halo, for example, it could have been like kind of open world, but you always had missions that you had to go run and do.
Yeah, it was like the regular like
story mode
on the rails kind of gaming, Yeah. Go to point A, go to point B, go to point C, this and that.
And yeah, a campaign. Yeah.
And besides like most people, Halo did have a good campaign, a good story, but most people played it for the multiplayer, it was for the versus aspect.
Javi and I spent many hours playing Forge World of us just creating random
really
shit.
Stupid stuff.
Very stupid.
Really degenerate stuff, like just dumb. Yeah. Thinking back on it, I was like, wow, what a waste of hours. But in the end, it's like a really good memory. So
we didn't even like kill things. We just
built stuff. Yeah. And not even like it wasn't even
built like stuff. a strip club.
Yeah, but it was literally just a box with a purple light in it. And then we were like, wow, this is sick. We're so smart. It was really troll.
Oh man. That could have saved me $60.
I mean, it was worth it. Yeah. It was worth every penny.
You were into Minecraft for a while too, right? With the boys?
Yeah, I wouldn't call it one of my favorite games, but it was definitely fun. Okay. We played it for a good amount of time together. I think it's actually us playing Minecraft is actually probably the foundation of our early friendship, I think. Okay. Along with Halo with one of my friends at least.
Which friend?
Brian. I used to play a lot of Halo with Brian.
Okay. Javi has a whole group of friends that they all got into gaming together during high school, and they're still today playing video games and stuff.
It's been many years.
How many, besides you, is Andrew the only other streamer in the group?
Yeah. Well, I guess Chris is starting to,
Oh, okay.
but he's not doing it that consistently, so I'm not really sure what he plans to do.
Yeah.
He's got, I think, bigger
Fish to
content
fry.
creation plans in his mind that aren't streaming related at the moment.
Yeah. Chris is our comedian friend who is trying to make a name for himself in the comic world.
He just bought himself a school bus.
To go on tour, right?
Yeah. Or like unofficial tour. Really just kind of riding around places with his boys. And just doing shows wherever he can. But the bus is cool. We actually hung out inside of it the other day.
I'll see it.
Just kind of chilling out. Had a couple beers or whatever.
Should we plug Andrew's streaming this?
Yeah, I mean, we can.
Go for it.
Why not plug your boy's streams? My boy, his name's Andrew. He's been streaming actually a lot longer than me. He's been kind of in the game, not from the very beginning, but like he's an early adopter. He was streaming since before, the affiliate program existed.
Right. Wasn't he streaming before even Twitch? Or not before Twitch, but like in a different program?
No. Twitch was already settled. To give like a time reference, Twitch was already Twitch. In case you didn't know, Twitch used to be Justin.tv. It was the name of the website.
Oh.
And it was a streaming platform for everything.
Okay.
And eventually they wanted to kind of diverge from that, become a gaming only kind of deal. So they kind of dropped that Justin.tv and they switched over to Twitch.tv.
It sounds better.
Yeah. and then ever since they've been like reintroducing other non-gaming things. So now there's like a music category.
Really?
Just chatting category, arts, like visual arts categories.
In Twitch?
Yeah, in Twitch.
Okay. I know that there's even podcasts on Twitch.
But yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
I'll become a Twitch podcaster.
Yeah, so you'd go, that would be like just chatting probably.
Okay.
That's the category, I think. I'm not sure if actually there might be a podcast category now that I think about it, but I'm not too certain.
I know that the H3H3 podcast is up on there.
Okay.
That's where they post.
Yeah.
Or live stream? I don't know. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Cool.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't say his
Yeah, they didn't say his name. So, yeah, my boy's Andrew stream. That's twitch.tv/Bloodzure. That's BLOODZURE.
Yep.
Nailed it. Not one spelling mistake in that.
Good job.
Thanks.
Proud of you.
Thanks.
Good pronunciation, too.
Yeah, I didn't go to college, so.
Yeah, he
it
didn't.
takes a lot from me.
So what would you consider like your favorite gaming experience, I guess?
What I talked about earlier with that moment in Assassin's Creed.
Okay.
That's a big one in my head. All of the years of playing Halo, it's hard for me to remember specific moments.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna say Halo. I think just that whole 2007 to 13 era of like Halo 3, Halo, like Reach or whatever, whenever that came out, and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I think those three were big hitters.
Okay.
And that's all I would play. Towards the end of that too, I started playing.
Didn't Black Ops come out around the end of that?
I think so.
Okay.
The year's a little shady, but yeah, Black Ops, the first one, was also a big hitter.
Yeah.
So a lot of that console, like classic console shooter gaming.
We were 360 kids, by the way. I think I mentioned that we were Xbox Live, but just as a little.
Yeah, we played a bunch of 360. We weren't the PlayStation camp very much.
Nah, yeah.
But I had a big shift over, like I was about to say, towards the end of that time, I started playing Team Fortress 2 and League of Legends on PC with some boys.
He became PC Master Race.
Yeah, after that, I remember I had the idea of like, because I was using this trash, like 10-year-old computer in my house to play those games, because they're pretty, you can run those games on hopes and dreams.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, okay, I'm going to build a basic little gaming computer, but I'll really only use it to play League and TF2 because, I got my console. I was playing Skyrim on there. I was playing, Halo. I was playing COD on there. Mm-hmm. So I was like, yeah, I don't need to do anything else on the PC. I just have my console. I just want to play League and TF2. That did not last 5 seconds. As soon as I got my computer, I was like, I'm sold. I literally didn't touch my console since.
Really?
Yeah, I used it one time to play Halo with Brian for like an hour.
Okay.
And that was it. I ended up selling it because like I was hooked.
Wow.
I was hooked. I had bought it from then on. I played all my games on PC.
Shit.
And now the only console I own is a Nintendo Switch.
Nice.
And a GameCube. Oh yeah.
And a GameCube.
Another one of my favorite games. Super Smash Bros. Melee for Nintendo GameCube.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that.
I hate that game. I also love it.
Yeah, a lot. Okay, so what are your favorite PC games?
My favorite PC, like specific game?
I guess not your favorite PC games. Just talk about your League experience.
My League experience specifically?
Yeah.
It's actually a funny story, I think, because so like I said, I come from, playing literally just Halo, Assassin's Creed, and like Gears of War and Call of Duty. So when my friends are all telling me, they're all talking about League at school, and they're like, "Hey, you should play League with us. You should play League with us." I'm like, "What is that?" And they're like, "Oh, it's like this thing. It's like a 5v5. You know, you destroy the enemy turrets, and you gotta push, you know, to destroy their main base or whatever." And they show me videos, and it's like that top-down kind of, what's it called? Like a strategy game type deal. To me, that's what it looked like, because I was very like naive and didn't really get the genres of games. I just knew like shooters, and like anything that had a top-down perspective, I just immediately categorized as a strategy game that, in my eyes, was boring and not interesting to play.
Okay, that's fair.
So they're like, no, they kept convincing me, you gotta play it, you gotta play it, you gotta play it, play with us. We're all playing. It's so much fun. You know, like when you do really well, it's super great, and this and that. You can always learn new things. Okay. But I was super, you know me. I can be like, once I've decided that in my head I don't like something, I've become very stubborn, and I'll talk shit about that thing all day, even though I don't know anything about it.
So you did that?
I did that, yeah, absolutely. I was like, This game's stupid, this game sucks. And then this is where it gets funny. So the girl that I had a crush on at the time, who also hung out with us.
Shout out
if you're listening. What up? She would eventually become my girlfriend, but that's not what we're talking about. At the time, I just had a big old crush on her.
We'll have a life podcast.
Yeah, a life podcast will come one day. She was a part of the group. It's not like she was separated from us. She was integrated. She was
in the friend group. Yeah.
And they got her to play it. And she's not even she likes games, but like she's not like good at games. She's just like kind of like she's a very casual gamer.
Yeah.
So she was playing it. So naturally,
she got super into it.
So naturally,
you got into it.
2 days later, I was like, "Oh man, this game sounds sick. I'm there. Count me in." And then I played like 2 games. Didn't understand it at all. Didn't have any fun. Didn't make any sense to me. But I was just now, for all the wrong reasons playing this game. AKA just wanted to like have another thing in common with this girl, or another thing to talk about or whatever. And eventually I kind of found a character. There's a lot of characters in that game. Yeah. I kind of found a character that I liked. He was pretty easy. Made sense to me. It wasn't that bad. And then after that I was hooked. Okay. I learned the game. I picked up on it pretty well. We were never like really, really good at the game. We were just kind of like middle of the road, average players. But I picked it super quick on it, and after that, it was a done deal. We played that game for probably 2.5, 3 years straight, almost every day.
And you guys had like LAN parties and everything for it, right?
Yeah, we would go to like our boys' house, and we'd all bring our rigs, and we would just play. I mean, we played several games, but it was mostly just League.
How hot was it in that room with all those computers?
Because we usually we would do it when like his parents were out of town, so we would set up in the living room, which was a lot more open.
Okay.
So that was chill. We'd like crack. The first time I got drunk was at one of those LAN parties.
Nice.
Yeah. I was like, you know what, fuck it, dude. Someone hand me, because we were all underage, but they were all drinking.
We're gonna get arrested now.
Yeah, but I was not a beer drinker. But I was like, the vibe was just right. I was happy to be with my boys playing games.
Javi was super against drinking.
Yeah, I was a super straight edge. I was the most straight edge person.
He was a prude.
You would have known at the time. But that day I was like,
that shifted hard.
Yeah, that day I was like, yo, someone cracked me a cold one, as the kids say, and it was done. We
downhill from there.
Yeah. After that, I was like, oh no, this is how it starts.
Yeah,
that's what we did, and that was great. So that's another,
big one.
Yeah, that's another big one. We played League for so long, so often. I remember. Eventually, me and one of the group. One of the boys, his name's Brian, we kind of started taking the game a little bit seriously. Okay. And we kind of paired off as like a duo, because the meta at the time was you can send 2 people in one lane as like a carry, and then somebody to support them. Okay. And that's how we played. And we did that for about a year, and we climbed. We definitely got better at the game. We could have climbed a lot higher. I think we had huge potential, but like a lot of things, eventually we just kind of fell off.
Grew out of it.
We didn't really care to be good at the game or play it that much anymore.
Right.
Other games come along and stuff.
Yeah, of course. Mm-hmm. So back to streaming a little bit.
Yeah.
You mentioned that like you recently got into it seriously. So what got you into it in the first place?
I've actually tried streaming several times over many years. Okay. But not with the intent of becoming a streamer. Okay, just like for fun? Just like I happened to have a webcam, and it would just kind of start as like a meme. And it's just me being like, yo, don't worry guys, I'll stream this game. And then I would stream like one game of League.
Okay.
Like this terrible trash quality because I didn't know how to configure that at all. And then, obviously no one would watch, but I didn't care. It was kind of like a joke that I was streaming it.
Right.
And I pretty much did that exact same thing a couple times.
Okay.
For different games for League. I did it for like, probably for like Counter-Strike at some point. But not really. Mostly for League.
Okay.
And then I don't know what happened. I think I finally, because I've lived most of my life not really having like a passion for anything.
Yeah.
I like things.
Right.
Those things I like to do, but nothing really that like
stuck out.
Yeah, nothing that stuck out. Nothing that like brought me that innate excitement to talk about.
Oh wow! I just realized that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had conversations about that in the past about having like a passion for something, and you were always like, I don't really have anything.
Yeah. So weird stuff like I used to like watch some esports stuff, mostly League at the time because that's what I was playing.
Okay.
And I used to watch streamers sometimes, but neither of those really stuck out to me at the time, which is strange to me. And I wonder to this day why it didn't really stick out.
Okay.
Maybe because I was like too young to really kind of appreciate what it really is,
Or maybe you couldn't just get into that game.
Maybe. But now, I don't know, I can't pinpoint the day or like the era or the time. Mm-hmm. But something came over me that like the idea of playing games competitively or esports and like putting your all into something and like overcoming goals, succeeding, doing your best in a game by yourself with a team, like
it was definitely the influence of sports anime,
no way.
which we'll get into later.
I don't think so because that was like there's too much of a gap.
Okay, that's fair.
There's too much of a gap in like the trigger point, but there is some correlation there that I'm sure we'll get to. But now it's just like any esport, even if it's a game I don't like, I like hearing about like big like underdog stories. I like hearing about like teams that like finally break through. And when I watch esports for games that I like, I'm glued, I'm hooked in. I like watching streamers. I like hearing about the streamers like come up. And then I realized that like that ignited a fire in me. Like it's kind of hard. I have this like kind of bad habit, this bad like a personality trait that isn't bad but kind of is I find a lot of things I want to be good at one time.
Okay. Which
makes it hard for me to get good at any of them.
Because you're trying all of them.
Yeah, my attention and my efforts are too divided.
Okay.
So that's kind of what's happening to me now, which I think I'm going to have to pick one path or the other for now. Because I was thinking, I really wanted to get...
Great at Melee.
Great at a game.
Okay.
For me, it would either be Melee or Counter-Strike.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah, Melee or Counter-Strike. And just kind of be able to take the game seriously at a competitive level and like be someone great at the game.
Okay.
But I also want to be... I want to be big on like Twitch and content creation.
Yeah.
And some people, lots of people do it at the same time.
Right.
But here's the kicker. What I was talking about earlier when we were talking about streaming, kind of to go back a bit, I talked about how like people, when you start streaming, you got to kind of play on your strengths.
Yes.
So that the two main strengths on Twitch that come out are skill. So like people love to watch people that are really good at the game. In question, especially if it's like a competitive one.
Oh, right. Like they don't even have to be entertaining just as long as they're...
There are people who are literally do not talk during their playing. Right. But they're so amazingly talented at the game that it's
doesn't matter.
Enthralling to watch either way.
Yeah.
And then there's people who, they carry themselves by their personality.
Okay.
Whether they're niche, whether like, that's a little harder because skill comes across a lot faster than personality sometimes because there's a lot of great people in the world with great personalities. Mm-hmm. So how they stick out, it usually happens because they were involved in some other sort of medium.
And then you are blessed if you have both.
Yeah. If you have
like
both,
Mango.
like Mango, my man, then like you're golden, like it's a great time.
Yeah.
So, what I was going to say is that, in my eyes, I don't have either of those things. So I'm kind of like a...
You have an awesome personality.
Okay, hold on. That's not what I meant. I'm not saying... I don't think I'm like a boring person, but I have a... this is my first real time doing any sort of content creation or anything like that.
Okay.
I have a hard time speaking essentially to myself.
All right.
For several hours. I mumble a lot. I speak really fast sometimes. I'm trying to be really conscious of it on your podcast.
Oh, thanks.
But when you're streaming and your attention is on the game, your attention is on the chat, you kind of forget to check yourself, and I start speaking like I normally do, a little quicker, mumblier.
Yeah.
Sometimes a little quiet, but thankfully, my audio equipment can kind of make up for that.
Okay, that's fair.
At
least for the quiet
volume,
part.
yeah, for the volume at least. So what do you do then? It's about like you just gotta train yourself. You gotta just improve all the time.
Right. I feel the same way about podcasts. Back when I did the other one, I think I mentioned this to you prior, but I remember during episode 1, it felt like just like a normal conversation with a friend. And then as it went on, I was like, okay, I'm speaking a little bit different. I'm thinking about what I'm saying prior to speaking, which is what you're supposed to do all the time.
Sure.
But, Yeah,
but when you're with your friends, it's
you just say whatever.
You just say it because
it's word vomit.
Yeah, worst thing that happens is like you might offend your friend, but they're your friend, so that they'll get over it.
Exactly, like it doesn't even matter. Whereas on a podcast, like you kind of gotta, especially the podcast I did was Star Wars related, so we would like be talking about Star Wars content. So you have to kind of like think about what you're gonna say and like how you're relating it back to the point and blah blah blah.
Yeah. Okay, I get you on that.
Yeah, so I feel like you kind of like compose yourself a little differently than you would in real life.
Yeah, I mean I feel that now, even right here, because like I feel very comfortable.
Yeah,
we've talked. We've been friends for years. We said that.
Yeah,
but I still feel like this is more of an interview setting
than a friend hangout setting.
Like I don't talk to Julie like this.
Yeah, we shoot on each other a lot.
Yeah,
I'm being really nice to him right now.
We sound like degenerates off there.
It's bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
So yeah, I feel where you're coming from with it all. And I think that's what I kind of mentioned that in the intro, that I think you're an awesome first guest because you too are trying to be this content creator.
Yeah, I think we're on a similar boat.
Right. The podcast and the stream, like obviously there's different components to each of them, but it's kind of like we're putting on a show for our listeners and viewers.
Right. Hey, Mom.
Yeah. So to move on from that a little bit, but to continue talking about streaming.
Yeah.
What does it take to be a streamer? Like like you said when you started, you had like a tiny little rig, and like I know that you've dropped a lot of dough on your materials. So,
and that's the thing. Let me start off with this, and then we'll kind of backtrack a bit. Mm-hmm. If anybody who like wants to start streaming, but they don't really, they don't have the fancy mic, they don't have the fancy audio interface, they don't have the this or the that.
Do it anyway.
But I have to also be transparent.
Go for it.
The equipment does matter.
I agree with that. I remember this is episode 1 of this podcast, and I'm already like, shit, I need a new mic.
Yeah, like so. The equipment does matter. But the thing is, like, you shouldn't off the bat start dropping that money.
Right.
So you should just do it. Your webcam is trash, or you don't have a webcam, just stream anyway.
Because I feel like, what if let's say, in theory, you love streaming, but then you drop all this money, you get all this insane equipment, and then you're like, this fucking sucks. I just want to play this game and have fun.
Well, I mean, like, I'm sure it does happen.
Yeah.
But in the end, like, who's that on? Like, I feel like you shouldn't be spending that money unless you're sure.
Excuse me, that's what I meant. Like, you should just start out with what you got. Yeah,
exactly. Start out with what you got. You don't have a webcam, that's fine. Not all streamers, even some higher...
popular ones, right?
Some popular streamers don't use webcam. I mean, it adds to the... Because Twitch has become less about the game and more about the person.
Right.
People want to connect with that person. They want to be part of a community.
Yes, of course.
So the camera does help. But if you just have, like, your $30, Target headset and no webcam.
Your built-in webcam.
Okay, that I will not stand for. If you're using your built-in laptop mic or something, or like, you just get a headset at least.
Yeah.
Even if it's cheap, just get a headset. But even if you just have that baseline stuff, I mean, if your computer can handle the game and your internet can handle the output, even if it's lower quality, just do it, because that's how you learn to use your voice. That's how you learn to find your voice. That's how you learn to find your flow. That's how you learn how to manage everything. Because, for example, like when I started streaming, I had I would run into a lot of issues.
Okay.
Like randomly, some days my mic wouldn't pick up on the stream, and I didn't know. Oh. So I would stream for like 2 hours, 3 hours, and then like
no audio.
Find out like my voice wasn't coming through, so it was just a game.
Oof.
sometimes you, if you have like a one monitor situation, thankfully I've had two monitors, but if you have like a one monitor situation, it can become a mess, not a mess, but a little difficult to keep up with the chat.
Yeah.
And that's very, very important.
And it's still a little hard for you, right?
No, I've gotten a lot better at it now. It just kind of depends on the situation. Because sometimes people, if I'm playing like a game that requires some focus,
right.
You know, I have to focus.
Yeah, and you can't look, you like, for example, when you play CSGO, right?
Yeah. So by the time I'm done with my moment of focus, I look back at the chat, maybe some time has passed since the person sent the message.
And it might not be relevant.
And not that it might not be relevant, but like maybe that person already feels like I'm not interacting and they've already, you know, left.
Okay.
Which, you know, it happens.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's a balance that takes time.
And there's a delay, right?
What?
There's a delay, right?
There's a delay. The delay is shorter the better your internet is.
Okay.
And then on top of that, some people purposely add a delay.
Right.
Depending on the game and the situation. Like higher profile streamers that play competitive games will sometimes add a delay so that they don't get what they call stream sniped, where like a viewer can like try to queue up against them and then use their stream to know, you know, what their play is or like what they want to do so they can counter.
Oh my God.
Yeah, people do that all the time.
That's rough. Okay.
Yeah. So, say what it takes to be a streamer, like there is a money aspect eventually, but first of all, just do it.
In a sad world, I think there's a money aspect in
Most
all
things.
passions. Yeah.
Especially content creation.
Yes.
Because if you want that quality, you need to put out for the quality gear.
Yeah, I just dropped a monthly subscription to get this editing program we're using here.
So yeah, just do it. Number one, first and foremost. There is a money aspect, but don't worry about that off the bat. Worry about that once you know that you enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because, you know, one day, even on your lower quality stream, somebody will show up and just talk with you because they like
your content.
They like whatever game you're playing, even if it's like a smaller game. Someone will usually always stop by because they love the game. And, you know, that moment, that first few moments of like connecting with somebody who just wants to watch your stuff, it's great. It can be really empowering, and that can really just make you want to, you know, put in the effort to save the money, get the better equipment. Mm-hmm. What else is needed to be a streamer? You need a little bit of like
gusto.
A little bit of gusto, but a little bit of like I was gonna say like a pocketed confidence almost.
Okay.
Because you gotta understand that you're gonna be sitting there staring at 0 viewers for a long time.
Right.
That's just the way it works. You know, like you're one in a million, not one in a million like that. You're like literally one of millions of people streaming. You know,
and I think that's the same for, again, all content creators.
Exactly.
Like even with the last podcast, we would get like maybe like 30 views, and we used to have like a visual podcast, so we would post it on YouTube, and you know, seeing those numbers was always like, oh my God, like why aren't we getting that many like listeners? Like what's wrong? And then I'm like, wait a minute, we just started, and like, you know, even if we have like 10 episodes out, like sometimes it just takes a while to kick off.
Yeah. So like I said, I've been streaming for several months. Sometimes I have higher peaks, and my peaks are me saying like 7 viewers, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes I have like some really good peaks with like 15 viewers, 20 viewers, but those are rare. I average out about like 4 or 5, which is, you know, after 4 or 5 months, you know, to someone who hadn't streamed or just started streaming sounds like way too little. That's just how it is. You got to work up the community somehow.
Exactly.
You know? And so you got to have that kind of pocketed confidence that you know you're doing a good job, and that it's almost like an equation. If you put in the work, build it, and they shall come, right? Is that the saying? Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. So if you put in the work, you put in the effort to make yourself a high quality stream, people will watch it. Eventually, it'll take time, but people will watch it.
And I think the most important thing, and I've heard this from so many people when I started my blog, when I started the podcast, and we were talking about it the other day, I think as long as you're creating content that you enjoy and you're kind of more doing it for yourself rather than your listeners, then people are going to flock to you because they're interested in you versus this like fake image that you're making yourself out to be.
Yeah, that was going to be my next one, actually. Super important. Have fun. Yes. Because if you're not having fun, nobody wants to watch something that's not having fun. Right. Unless like your shtick, you're like a gimmick, is that you're like a rager or something, which it does exist.
Yeah, I've seen it.
People want you to have fun, and you should also want yourself to have fun. So like, for example, like it's really easy to think objectively, like, okay, I want to start streaming. Maybe I should stream Fortnite because that's what everybody's watching.
But if you don't enjoy the game,
you know, if you love playing, I don't know, if you like playing like I don't know,
Bratz,
Crossy Road, just stream Crossy Road and have a grand old time, and people will be like, "Wow, dude, have you seen this nutty Crossy Road streamer? He's like, you should see him play. He looks like he's having the best time of his life."
Yeah.
So like just do it. One, there's a money aspect, but don't worry about it too much until you'll know when it's time to think about it. You'll feel it you'll feel that desire to want to step up. Yeah. That pocketed confidence, like, do not worry about the viewership and just have faith in yourself and the content that you're producing. Mm-hmm. Have fun, probably the most important one, along with just doing it. Have a good time. Don't bend to like what you think you have to do for viewers.
Yes.
Do what you think, you do what you enjoy. And honestly, as long as it's not like too obscure or like really weird, like people will watch.
Yeah.
And even if it is, people will probably watch anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
And then the last thing I think is really important is consistency.
Okay.
You know, even if you only stream one day a week, make sure it's always the same day. Make sure it's always around the same time. And that can be hard to figure out. To this day, I'm still trying to cement a schedule that still falls apart.
Yeah.
Every once in a while. But
what days have you figured out so far?
I think my ideal situation is right now, like I said, because of the government shutdown, I'm not working. So I technically have all day, every day to do it. But instead of doing that, I'm streaming or aiming for Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay. Starting at 5 p.m. and then ending it whenever. Usually
that sounds
around
smart.
Usually around 10 or 11.
Okay.
Maybe a little less if I'm not feeling it as much. And then Saturdays, I do like a longer stream. Like I'll start streaming at like 2 p.m., 3 p.m. Mm-hmm. And I'll just let it ride until like, 11 midnight or whatever. Okay. And that actually brings me to the next point. I said just now about how like it might be shorter if I'm not feeling it. Streaming, no matter what people say, streaming is a job. It is work. Mm-hmm. It is not always, shits and giggles.
You just said it yourself too, that you want to stream Friday nights and Saturday nights. And that, is obviously going to take a tiny bit of a toll on your social life.
Yeah, that too. And also just like some days, like let's be real here, even those of you, including myself, those people just love to play games all day. You have those days that you wake up, maybe you're a little sick, maybe you're a little tired. You don't feel like playing anything. But guess what? It's your day to stream. So you got to just sit there.
And do it.
And just do it. You got to drag yourself on there, put yourself live, and just stream. So that's another big aspect. Kind of to go along with the pocketed confidence, also like being able to suppress anxiety. Okay. Because everybody gets a little, not everybody has, anxiety issues, but everybody gets a little anxious when they have to like perform, Of course. To do something. So I can't tell you how many times I sit at my computer and like, I'm there, I'm ready, set up, my lights are on, my mic is ready, and I just have to hit start streaming, and I'm just gonna be like, I just sit there like you're right, now I gotta do this again, I gotta put myself out there and like not worry about what other people think and just be me.
I kind of felt that
could be
started.
That could be a little extra step that's a little nerve-wracking, but once you hit start, you get flowing. It just goes. It's a little rough, but it'll dissipate. The more you do it, the easier it gets.
Definitely.
So I think that was kind of a long list, but I think
that was a good list. Guys, take notes if you want to be a streamer.
Yeah, so like the important, like the key points I want to hit, just doing it, have fun, consistency. Main three. The other ones are
those are important, yeah.
Yeah, the main ones are kind of supplementary.
Or fit into the other ones.
Yeah. So like the anxiety thing is minor. It kind of goes along with
just do it.
With just doing it. The money thing, like I said, you don't worry about that until you know it's time. Until you know that you care enough to do that. And then
which kind of can go into consistency, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. The more you do it.
The confidence also can go into just do it.
Yeah, the confidence. Fun. Yeah, all that kind of group together. So main key points, just take this away from this kind of section. Just doing it. I forgot the other two. Consistency.
Have fun.
And have fun. There you go. Nailed it.
Have fun.
Have fun.
All right. So, do you have any upcoming plans? Plans? Like tournaments, games, or stream plans?
When is it being posted?
Hopefully today.
Hopefully today? Okay, well, it gets posted today.
Maybe tomorrow. We'll see.
Maybe tomorrow? That's fine too. So my immediate plans, I'm just kind of focusing. I guess I got to find a new job because I don't think the government's unshutting down anytime soon.
Rough.
But this Friday, this podcast is being recorded Wednesday, January 23rd, 2019.
Yes.
This upcoming Friday is the release of the Resident Evil 2 remake. And I had never played two things. I have never played a Resident Evil game.
Okay.
And two, I'm a big old scaredy cat when it comes to playing horror games.
Woo.
So I bought the game already.
Okay.
And then Thursday midnight, aka Friday,
Yeah.
Friday 12 a.m., I'm going to be playing it at midnight on stream. Whole shebang. I'll have my lights on, my stream lights, just so people can see me. But other than that, lights on, headphones on, turned all the way up so I can't hear anything.
Are you going to have like your room lights off?
Yeah, room lights off.
Okay.
But I usually have like that anyway.
Okay.
I'm just going to be playing the game and being a big old scaredy cat and streaming it and see if people will watch. Other plans kind of to go with that. I'm gonna
You got
record.
a phone call?
Yeah, I got a phone call. Wow, how unprofessional.
I know. Didn't turn your phone on mute?
I didn't even think about that. I don't do this.
I did.
I don't even do that when I stream. What was I saying? Oh, I'm gonna record the whole thing.
Okay.
And I've been teaching myself how to record, edit, and render. And I'm gonna see if I can maybe post it to YouTube and then kind of start like posting my stream highlights to YouTube also.
Is it going to be a highlights video or is it going to be like the whole video?
The Resident Evil might be the whole video.
Okay.
We'll see.
Kind of like a let's play?
Yeah. I might edit out some like
boring parts,
yeah. But for the future, maybe just stream highlights and other little things like that.
That's cool. Little funny moments and whatever.
So that are options. I kind of like this podcasting thing.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'll go on.
The Bang Chan podcast could be a thing.
Maybe I'll go on your stream.
My pilot episode. My pilot.
Well, no, I meant maybe I'll go on your stream and we'll do a streamcast.
I think the streamcast is a great idea.
I think so too.
We'll talk.
Yeah. Bang Chan will be a frequent guest on this one probably because I don't know that many people.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to be a guest on this podcast, all you gotta do is reach out because I'm an open book. I like to think.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all my plans. My plans are always the same. Just keep improving. Just see what else I can bring to the table of my stream and other content creations. So right now it's going to be me practicing a lot of editing.
Okay.
Practicing a lot of like voice editing, video editing, different recording methods, different things for my stream.
Cool.
Different games I want to play because right now I would consider myself to be a variety streamer.
Okay.
But I've been playing mostly Counter-Strike.
Yes.
Which I love that game to death. But it's just
I don't know anything about the game, but when I watch him, I actually enjoy watching him. Yeah. And I've heard that watching Counter-Strike could be kind of boring. So.
It's a little rough because usually the player has to be very focused, so there's not a lot of interaction.
Right.
Which is the part that makes it rough, which is why I want to find other games that I might like to stream.
Okay.
I just it's one of those things where like Counter-Strike is my game right now. So like when I'm playing a different game, I'm just like, I could be playing Counter-Strike right now.
Yeah. I really quickly wanted to talk about, because we kind of mentioned it earlier, but we didn't really go into it.
Yeah.
Super Smash Brothers Melee.
Super Smash Brothers Melee for the Nintendo GameCube. Came out in 2001, fun fact.
Wow. Yes, I knew that actually.
Yeah.
So I feel like you got really into streaming when you decided that you wanted to be a bigger Melee player.
So that came hand in hand. I talked about it earlier, about how I was always I always had a thing for competitive esports.
Right.
And streaming, but I never really cared for it as a passion.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, it just kind of like both of them
punched you in the face.
Hit me at once.
Yeah.
So yeah, it kind of came hand in hand at the time that I was mostly considering about being a streamer, because, it's a commitment.
Yes.
So I didn't really dive in right away. I was also really wanted to be involved in esports communities. At the time,
specifically the Melee one?
At the time, Melee, because that's the only game I was playing. I wasn't really playing Counter-Strike at the time.
So Counter-Strike also has an esports community?
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
so one of the bigger esports.
Okay. Why don't you, really quick, because I just realized we've been talking about esports this entire episode and we haven't even mentioned what that is for people who don't know.
Esports, the E in esports stands for electronic sports.
So it's the sports for lame-ass.
It's the sports for video games. Lots of people, usually older generations, will argue like, well, this is stupid. Why would you watch somebody play this video game?
But it's even streamed on ESPN now, right?
Some games, yeah. Dota usually.
Yeah.
Dota and like Counter-Strike, I think.
Okay.
But people will be like, oh, this is stupid. Why would you watch these people play games? First of all, it's a video game. It doesn't take real talent like football or something. And like, why'd you watch it? You can just play the game yourself. And then like, first of all, fuck those people. I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
I know you can hear me. 2, You know, why aren't you playing football? I don't see you playing. I see you sat on this couch drinking your beer, watching the NFL.
Probably really fat.
Probably really fat.
There you go.
You know, why aren't you playing football? Why aren't you out there
playing basketball,
playing soccer? You know, why aren't you out there playing? Why are you out here watching these people play?
I'm the best volleyball player.
That's not true. And you know why we do it? Because we're not just like you, just like the people out there who just watch the NFL. You know, we know a lot about the games. Sure, we play them casually or semi-competitively, but guess what? We're not at that level. And watching a game, watching anything at all be done at such a high level, it's art, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what it is, like, I think, let's see, like, I think chess is pretty cool, I guess.
Okay.
But I objectively don't really care that much about it. I'm not good at it. I know how the pieces move. But every once in a while, you know, like, if somebody throws on, like, a top level, like, chess game, I think it's entertaining. Because watching something at top level, even if you don't find it that interesting, it's always a little cool, at least.
I think that's how I got into is a nice word, but that's how I got interested in Melee also. I watched, the Five Gods playing different matches, and I was like, wow, that looks like insane shit. I don't know what just happened, but it looks really dope.
Like, it's hard to comprehend. Even if you play the game, you're like, this is stupid. Like,
yeah.
This is on another level.
So who's your main in Melee? And how many characters are there? Because I know you know that.
Fuck, do I know that? 21?
Oh, maybe you don't know that. I don't know.
27? I'm not going to find out.
Okay.
Anyways, my main is Falco.
Falco, yes.
Lombardi.
He's the bird.
One of the birds. I would consider Captain Falcon to also be a bird, only because
I know, I get very confused by their names sometimes. I know the difference between them, but when they just quickly say Falco or Falcon, I get very confused.
Well, they say Captain Falcon.
That's true. And I watched these guys play this game for many...
There's 26.
26, there you go. I've been watching them play for a while now. You've gone to tournaments and everything for this.
A couple tournaments, yeah. Not a lot. Not as many as, like, most committed people go to.
Okay.
Well, I guess for a time I was going to a decent amount, but...
yeah, you were going weekly.
Yeah, I was going to a weekly, and then at the time, a little backstory for the viewers, I traveled a lot for work.
Yes.
So if I went to whatever city I would go to, I would check if they had a local, and I would try to go to that one. So I did that a couple times.
Okay.
So during that time was probably my peak. And I've gone to CEO, which is a super major, maybe just a major at this point, 3 times.
I want to go with you this year.
Yeah, come with us. It'll be fun. Maybe. Yeah. You might be bored.
We'll see.
Because, even Ludwin was bored.
Okay. Ludwin is going to be our next guest for the next episode, but we won't talk about him now because he sucks. Any tournament plans?
For now, no, other than CEO. Not because I've lost interest in the game, just because I'm much more investing my time into the streaming thing. Okay. So
probably CEO then.
Yeah, probably CEO will be the next time. We'll see though, because it's just like I said earlier. I split my attention too much across things, so I'm trying to get good at Counter-Strike and Melee and streaming. Yeah. And now I'm like editing videos. It's just not gonna happen. Like none of them will happen if I keep doing that. Kind
of like the whole like jack of all trades, master of none thing. Yeah. But you want to be a master of some, so you gotta put your time into it.
Yeah. Because like I said, earlier I hit on that too. I'm not naturally highly talented at video games. Sure, I pick up on them quickly. Mm-hmm. To like the average person, I might seem like a good player. But to the people who play the games, I'm not anywhere near close to the top.
Okay, that's fair.
So I have a lot of work to do if I want to get anywhere to that level.
I believe in you.
I believe in me too.
Got this.
So yeah, CEO's probably the next tournament. I actually haven't touched that game in a minute. I actually thought about streaming it the other day. I kind of was in a Melee mood. I might stream it soon.
Good. I'll watch it.
But yeah, recently I'm too focused. I got to do the Resident Evil thing. Oh, and also
I'm excited for that because I think me and Spooks, which we're gonna get into in a couple minutes. So I'll definitely I work that morning, but you know what? I'll just put it on at work. They won't know. Yeah, they won't listen to this. They don't care about me.
It's fine. Yeah. That was my theory. So I shifted over I took a big old pay cut to switch over from traveling to working from home.
Oh, did you?
Only because literally for the sole this is back to you eventually commit more time to streaming. Right. I did that strictly because I wanted to put more time into streaming. Of course. Before that, I was only home on the weekends. I could only stream max 2 days a week. Yeah. And if I did, I would have to forego any sort of social activity.
And they're on weekends, and I feel like people don't watch. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like people won't watch streams as often on like Saturday and Sunday because I know like for most people that I know, Sunday's like family day. So
I think it depends. Yeah, I guess that's true, but also I think it's almost like a backwards thing. I think most people stream on the weekends.
Okay.
So it's like that's when the market per se is the most saturated,
the highest
things to watch. So
right.
Therefore, they won't watch you because the ninjas are on, the shrouds are on, everybody's on.
Right.
What were we talking about? Completely lost my train of thought.
Me too. We're gonna take a quick break. We'll be back in 1 second.
Hey, what's up? We're back, and by we, I mean me. Julie wanted to pause it because she has to go pee. She's, as we speak, scampering over to the bathroom. I told her to just hit play or hit record because, let's be honest here, we all know why you're here. We all know. It's for me, Bang Chan. That's what they call me. So what do I talk about when I'm by myself? Let's see. This is just like I'm streaming. This is easy. So let's see. I stayed up all night practicing editing videos and thinking about how cool it is to develop new skills. I woke up at noon because of that. I slept like an hour and a half. I had several energy drinks to prepare for this podcast. I bought Slim Jims because I literally haven't had breakfast. I kind of want to eat one now, but I don't want to make you guys listen to that. Let's see here. I'm having a good time. This is Julie's podcast. I don't know what the name of it is. I think it's like it might be the Infinity Jewels podcast. It might be Boolin with Ghoulie. I like Bookin with Gookie, but I don't think she likes that one. Wow, she's taking a long time in there. So yeah, if you guys want to check me out, learn more about me, come get to know me, twitch.tv/BangChanTV. I play many different games. Currently, mostly Counter-Strike. Playing Borderlands, usually 2 days a week with some friends. We're doing a new playthrough of that. If you guys know what that is, it's like a 4-player co-op game, story game. And like I said earlier, come the release of Resident Evil, I'll be playing a whole lot of that. I might have to put Counter-Strike on the back burner while I play that game. And yeah, so it'd be cool, come support me. Be greatly appreciated. Oh, Julie's out of the bathroom. Wow. Julie, could you hear the things I was saying?
Not at all.
Oh, sick. So it'll be like a surprise for you.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
I'm really worried about when I hit the playback button and listen to this again. And this is like almost an hour in, so
you'll love it.
Oh God. Anything he said, if it was bad or negative, don't believe it. He's a liar. Disclaimer.
So how's your first solo podcasting experience, Julie? You taking the reins over there? Are you sure the levels are good, or are we still live?
Yeah. It looks cool.
Are we still recording?
Yes, we are.
Just making sure.
Yeah, it's still there. I had a pop-up screen a couple minutes ago, and I got really scared that maybe it stopped
recording. It'll just explode the computer.
Yeah, I was like, oh, do you want to start your computer right now? And I was like, no, I do not.
Okay, so let's next subject. What do we got?
All right, so now we're going to digress into something that I'm stealing from the H3H3 podcast. Thanks, Ethan and Ela.
Jeez, don't admit it, Julie. Jesus.
But it's something that I'm really interested in. Getting sued. Let's get it.
All right.
Well, okay, so let me give credit also to my third planned guest is my homegirl Daniela, who Javi knows very well.
Yikes.
So she suggested a podcast to me called And That's Why We Drink. And it's hosted by these two girls, one of which it tells of famous ghost stories such as Amityville or Annabelle doll and crap like that. And then the other one tells us of famous murder stories such as Jonestown and other crazy killer guys. So I've been listening to that a lot, so I feel kind of warped in the sense that that's kind of all I care about. I've literally seen one horror movie every day for the last 3 days. And yeah, so I wanted to talk to my boy over here, Javi, about some spooky things, some spooks with Ghoulie.
I talked about that while you were gone.
Oh, you did?
Kind of.
All right, let's get boolin' with Ghoulie.
Get boolin' with Ghoulie.
So, Javi.
That's me. Twitch.tv/BangChanTV.
There you go. Have you ever had any ghost stories?
No. So as you may remember,
yes,
I'm an adamant non-believer of ghosts.
Yes, I was going to ask you that after this whole segment.
I guess not adamant. I don't really care that much, but it's just I just don't believe in ghosts.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who don't.
I think there might be a world where there are, but I don't think they haunt people or interact with people.
The same way that like TV or movies.
Yeah,
present.
I don't think.
Okay.
I think they just mind their own business. I think like
kind of like just a lingering presence.
like if I'm okay, you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Because now that I think, I was about to say that if I was a ghost, I wouldn't waste my time dealing with alive people. But now that I think about it, that would be so much fun.
You want to troll the shit out of it.
I'd be trolling alive people.
Oh, let me throw this chair across the room just to spook you out.
Bitch.
But you have had, hopefully past tense, a lot of sleep paralysis experience.
Who told you that?
You did.
It was me. I told you that.
Yeah. So let me say a little disclaimer. Sleep paralysis is like my biggest fear. I've never had it.
You never had it?
I've never had it. Knock on wood.
I don't think it's like a... Well, maybe not. I was going to say I don't think it happens. I think you either have it or you don't.
Well, I've heard that almost everybody suffers from it at least once in their life.
Okay. Yeah, I stopped myself because actually recently one of my friends told me that they had it they had Nick Abreu.
Oh, Nick.
Yeah, and they had it they had it like once in the last year or twice, but they remember it because like other than that it like doesn't happen.
Okay. I know my mom has had it like once kind of recently too, and she didn't really like know what it was.
Okay.
Mike had it kind of recently.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. I think I've read it can be brought on sometimes by stress. Sometimes.
Oof.
So it would make sense that maybe Mike had it because he was like moving and stuff like that. You know,
yes.
big stuff, new job, you know, the usuals. So that would make sense, I think. But I might be wrong. I might be making that up. I just kind of have a vague memory.
And I know that there's certain things that like not trigger it, but it's easier to get it. So like if you sleep on your back, you almost always have it if you sleep on your... Not if you sleep on your back, but like it almost always happens when you're sleeping on your back. Does that make sense? Or,
I get what you're trying to say.
Yeah, like...
But I don't think that's true.
Okay.
Now, that's just me speaking from personal experience.
Right.
I've gotten it, you know, many times in my life.
Of course. And I want to hear these experiences.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. But I don't think it's ever been related to...
what position you're sleeping in?
I switch up positions pretty often.
Okay.
The only one I don't sleep on, I usually don't sleep on my stomach, but I'll sleep on my sides. You know, I'll sleep on my back. I'll sleep whatever. And I don't think any of them have triggered it specifically.
Okay.
I think some people, never mind.
No, never mind.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say I was going somewhere with that, but I think the data I have is faulty and not actually true.
Okay. Yeah. I know that these stories always like really freak me out.
Sure.
I will be super fine. And then I'll hear like your story, or I remember one time we were coming back from the beach in like a car full of people, and you and this other kid who I shall not name.
Let's name him.
No, he sucks. I don't want to name him.
Say it out loud.
No.
If you say it 3 times, he'll show up.
Definitely no. So I remember he also had horror stories or sleep paralysis stories.
Maybe he did. I vaguely remember this.
Yeah, and I remember like when I went home that night, because I assumed that, you know, when you lay on your back, you got sleep paralysis. I was like, okay, let me not sleep on my back.
You slept upside down instead?
Yes, hanging from the roof.
Yeah, it's like a bat, you know.
Yeah, always.
But yeah, sleep paralysis is it's pretty fucky. I think it's, if I'm being honest, at least with me, it's a lot scarier. No, it's less scary than it sounds.
Okay.
I think because I've had it. Little backstory for the people. I've had it a long. Like I get it. You know, I've had it several times over many years. You know, since I was a kid.
Yes.
Now I don't know exactly how to say how frequently it is, because it's not frequent. It's not like every week. You know, I get one.
Okay.
But it's frequent enough. Maybe like once a month. Once or twice a month. It can just come randomly. There's no real like rhythm to it.
Okay.
No consistency. It just kind of happens. But it could still happen to this day. Like if it happened tomorrow, I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay.
And honestly, it's less scary and more just annoying. I just want to go to sleep.
Okay, that's fair.
So some people have said, I've read, because eventually I didn't know I had sleep paralysis. I didn't know that's what that was.
Okay.
I thought I honestly believed for the longest time until I was like maybe like 16, 17. I thought those were all just dreams. And I just always had these dreams. Because the thing that a lot of people may not know about sleep paralysis, you often hallucinate. So the hallucinations led me to believe they were dreams. But they weren't dreams. They were just sleep paralysis and their accompanying hallucinations.
Yeah, I've read that the hallucinations happen because you're paralyzed, so your brain does this weird thing where like it's
your body's
making
asleep.
you feel afraid. Yeah, exactly. So you technically are dreaming while being awake.
Exactly. So I don't know what it is specifically, but I think it's a mix of like your body's asleep, therefore your brain just assumes you're just asleep in general.
Yeah.
So it starts that kind of dreaming cycle.
And I read
but
specifically,
also because you're conscious of the fact that your eyes are open, that you're half awake or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that panic can set in.
Exactly. So like the panic and the fear,
like the bad images. But also like like I said, I've had it many times. It doesn't really affect me anymore. It's really more annoying. Mm-hmm. But even then, some bad hallucinations do come. So I think it's just kind of naturally a part of that.
Okay. Whether or not you're afraid.
And it's kind of weird, honestly, how not comfortable I am with it, but how it's like, it happens.
Okay.
And I'm just like very conscious of like, okay, this is fine. I can pass this. A lot of people will say like, once you notice you're in it, just close your eyes and just try to sink back into sleep. I've never done that because it feels so uncomfortable.
Yeah, that sounds weird. I've heard that you're just supposed to like try to move.
Yeah, to wake yourself up.
Yeah.
That's what I do. But people will be like, yeah, just fall asleep. And actually, I think if you fall asleep and you force yourself to go back to sleep, you'll end up in like a lucid dreaming state, which a lot of people enjoy. People love that stuff.
I feel like I've done that when I've had like scary dreams. I'll like be like, okay, this is a dream. And then I'll like make whatever I want to happen.
Yeah. But for me, like the feeling of like forcing myself to go back to sleep in that situation, I don't know why, it's just super uncomfortable. I'm convinced I'm gonna die if I try to go back to sleep.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So like sleep paralysis is fucked.
And you can't move.
Eventually you can.
Right. But it takes a couple seconds or minutes?
It takes a bitty. Sometimes longer than other times.
Oof. Okay.
Yeah.
So go ahead. What kind of images have you seen?
I mean, it's happening to me a lot, so it's kind of hard to remember specific ones. There's two, or maybe three that sit with me pretty clearly.
Okay.
Because they were kind of the most outrageous, kind of.
Were they scary?
Objectively, yes.
Okay.
But like I said at the time, I was, I think one of them was pretty scary because I was still a little younger.
All right.
So I was still like not really like...
sure what it was.
Yeah.
What was it?
Okay, so... The first one that I can remember, the earliest memory, was very simply put. I was facing, so like my bed's in the corner, in this time period. My bed's like in the corner of the room,
as it is now.
I guess it always is for most people.
Yeah. Well, not mine, but
yeah. But so I fell asleep facing the wall.
Okay.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
Whatever. And in this particular one, I could, even though it was dark in my room,
yes,
the hallucination kind of made my wall look a little brighter. Like if there was a light on, but there wasn't, but like a very dim light.
Okay. And like a nightlight.
Yeah, almost like a nightlight, kind of like casting. And I can see in the wall a shadow of like someone behind me, and like they kind of had like clawy hands, and like it was very clear they were like, it's like slowly creeping towards me, and like. The hallucination makes you like feel things too. Like I can feel them like start to like try to like touch me or something.
Yeah, you could feel the presence or whatever.
Yeah, you
right?
you can definitely like you feel like there's someone there in addition to like seeing the shadow.
Oh
so that was the first one that like I just kind of like woke up. I like forced myself up and like I had accepted already that it was like a dream.
Yeah.
Because at the time I didn't know exactly what sleep paralysis meant or what it was. And the worst thing, at least for me, I don't know if this happens to everybody. Once I get sleep paralysis one night, I can't get rid of it.
So you keep getting it that night?
Yeah, like I go back to sleep, happens instantly. I go back to sleep, happens instantly. Sleep paralysis, every back to back.
Oh my god.
What I found works, if any of you have a similar situation, just get up, like don't go back to sleep, just get up out of bed, walk around, lay in your room for like 10 seconds, go get some water. I do both. I do this every time the same way. I kind of get up, I walk around my house or like around my room, get a cup of water, go back to sleep, and it usually takes a little bit to get back to sleep, but I get back to sleep, you know. And
yeah, you don't suffer from sleep paralysis and demons the rest of the night.
It usually works. Sometimes it doesn't, and it comes in like droves. Like sometimes I'll be asleep for 2 hours, and then I'll get it.
Okay.
Sometimes it'll come back. Sometimes it won't. But it usually works, the whole like walk around water thing.
Okay.
So that's why I said it's mostly annoying, because I just want to sleep.
Right, of course. You got shit to do the next day.
Yeah. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just want to sleep.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
So yeah, so like I don't even know how to describe it. It's like it's usually you're there and you open your eyes and like your room, it almost looks like slightly distorted every time, but only mildly. Like everything just kind of looks slightly more tilted than it should be.
Okay.
Sometimes it's a little weird. Sometimes there's a scary hallucination. Sometimes you just kind of see your room,
Right.
you know, as you're facing at it. And you just kind of you can feel when you're trying to move. You can feel in your body you're like
moving.
Yeah, you're like you can feel the effort. I guess is how I can describe it. And like it takes a little bit of force. You gotta like be there like
pushing.
Yeah, you gotta push that. And eventually, like, once you move like a little bit, usually it starts out with me being able to move like a little bit. Like I can feel like I started like twitching my finger or my fingertips.
Yeah.
And after that, it kind of like chain reaction, just kind of like you're able to like move. And once you're able to move, you kind of wake up.
Okay. That's what I kind of figured based on like in Kill Bill when she's like wiggle your big toe. That's what I figured it'd be very similar to.
Yeah, kind of like that.
So shit. I was gonna talk about a spooky thing.
Well, we were still talking about my experiences, right? Do you still want to hear about that?
Yeah,
There's
of
a
course.
couple more. So that was the first one that was like, I think, well, the one that I remember. I'm sure I've had many scary ones, but that one kind of sticks out to me.
Okay.
The second one, and this one scares everybody when I tell them. Because this one was fucked up.
Oh, God.
But the fucked up part was that at this point I knew what I was involved in, and it didn't scare me at all.
Okay, but it scares everybody else.
Yeah, I tell people this story, and they're like,
I'm not sleeping tonight.
I'm not sleeping tonight.
Uh-oh.
But it's not even that bad in my eyes. So, same situation, bed in the corner. I'm sleeping.
Facing the wall again?
Actually, so usually my head goes towards like the corner, you know, like that side of the bed.
Okay.
This day, for whatever reason, I slept when like upside down with like my head.
Like your feet were.
My feet were where my head would usually be.
Okay.
Which meant that my head was like by the door.
Right.
A little dagger in my room. So like my head was like by the door, and I fell asleep facing the inside my room, which is pretty small. Consists of mostly my desk,
Yes.
my desk, my computer area, and my bed. That's pretty much it.
Okay.
I wake up. Well, I don't wake up. I start my sleep paralysis, and there's a man in my chair that I can see.
Because his chair is right next to his bed.
Yeah, pretty much. That I can see because I'm facing the room, and I can see his like facial features.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he has a face. He has like a.
He's like a
body.
fleshed out person. He's not just like a shadow thing.
Yeah, he's like a person.
Okay.
And I can't repaint the image in my head right now of exactly his features, but he was like I don't know how else to describe it other than like a man who clearly has an agenda of some sort.
Okay.
But you're not sure if he's shady or not yet. So just try to picture that in your mind, and that's what I saw. So he's just there in my chair, sitting like chilling. He's like kicked back, legs kind of crossed, you know. There, he starts talking to me. I kind of forgot what he was saying. He's like, something along the lines of like, "Oh, follow me," or like, "You have to come with me now. I'm taking you somewhere." Stuff along those lines.
Okay.
And me in my like hallucinated state, I'm saying no, or I'm saying like, I'm not really sure. I don't think I want to.
Okay.
In this hallucinated state.
Yeah, stranger danger.
And then this is where it got really weird.
Uh-oh.
My door swings open.
Shut up.
My door swings open, which is like by my head. So, but like in my hallucination, I can like kind of like shift my view. I can look at my door.
Yeah, like you can move your eyes. You just can't move your body.
Yeah, but like the angle wouldn't make sense with my eyes. Like I don't have that field of view.
Okay.
Like I would have been like in a real world perspective, I would have had to move my head.
Oh.
But in this hallucination, like it just made me believe that I can be looking at my door.
Okay.
And it's not. It's my stepdad's aunt who lives with us sometimes.
Right.
Like, stays with us. So the door swings open and she's there and she looks furious, which is like she's a nice Hispanic lady. She's never been mad about anything in her life.
Okay.
You know. And she's like holding. It's almost like an Exorcist movie. She's holding like a cross or like a rosemary, something like that. And she's yelling at this man like, and at me. She's like, "You cannot go with him.
Oh my God.
Like he wants to do these terrible things. Like he is like the demon. He's like a this and that." And the more she like yells, I look back at the man. He's like smiling. Like the bigger and bigger his like smile grows, and he's like, "Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about that. Just come, do whatever." And that went on for a biddy.
Oh my God.
Of like them like fighting and like trying to persuade me and like yelling at me to like do this and that.
Is your aunt, is she religious?
Yeah, I guess most like older Hispanic people are.
But like, does she like have a rosary and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think she does.
Oh shit.
I don't think she's like a prayer every night type.
We should talk to her about it. Maybe she was
in my dreams on the defense.
like for real. Yeah, maybe that was the devil trying to take you to hell, man.
That would have been sick. But yeah, so that was that. That was probably the most flushed out and like vibrant one I've had.
Did he do anything, or it was just that?
I think at one point, yeah. So I think at one point he like gets up and grabs me, like by my arm and my leg, and like I feel like the slight tug, and then my aunt, let's call her my aunt, she like steps in and she's like more yelling, more like kind of like frantic,
get
like,
out.
Yeah, frantic get out type of situation. And after that, I snapped out of it. You know, I kind of moved up. I woke up. You know,
no one was in your room.
No one's in my room. Everyone's asleep. It's like 2 a.m.
Thank God it wasn't 3 a.m.
Oh no, 3 a.m. the witching hour. Oh. Fuck you, Ludwin.
And you have one more story, you said?
Okay, so this one was, I only mentioned it because it was very recent. It was actually the most recent one that I can remember. That had a hallucination involved. That actually happened while I was in DC for work.
Oh, so recent.
Yeah,
couple months ago.
I was in my hotel room. And the way the hotel was flushed out was...
God, it sounds kind of scary having it in a hotel room.
Yeah, it was a little bit more jarring than normal.
Yeah.
It's a room you don't recognize.
Exactly. Okay.
But pretty basic hotel room. I had the bed and then the TV was like facing perfectly the front. So I usually fell asleep while watching something on like Hulu.
Right.
So, you know, it's...
Always Sunny, South Park.
Always Sunny. It's 2018. So this is how it works. So like you have Hulu on. Eventually, you know, you fall asleep. Mm-hmm. Eventually it'll prompt like, are you still there kind of thing?
Yeah.
And then it'll just turn itself off. Simple as that. TV will turn off. The whatever device you're using to watch Hulu will turn off.
Okay.
So I fell asleep watching whatever. And this hallucination, this wasn't really that bad, but there was something like oddly creepy about it.
Maybe the hotel room.
Maybe it was. So I literally just woke up in my sleep paralysis state, and the TV was still playing whatever show was on at the time.
Okay.
Which I don't remember. I think it was Always Sunny.
Probably.
And then I keep hearing like a voice that doesn't really fit the show, which is weird. And then I hear
coming
like,
from the TV also, or like...
Yeah. But then I hear like loud knocking on the hotel door, which is like to the right of the TV. And the TV just turns to static.
Oh my God, no!
And then that was it. And that's where it stops. Like it was after that, I still was there kind of trapped in it for like a minute or two. But like nothing else happened. The knocking stopped and the TV was just static. And I snapped out of it. I woke up, and the TV was... When I woke up, the TV was still on and playing Always Sunny or whatever it was. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So that one was one of the more recent ones. I think maybe the static was what made it a little jarring, because like...
Yeah.
That's so associated with like, you know, like...
spooky things.
Spooky horror
ghost shit. What about the knocking? Was it like banging knocking or just...
It started with like regular knocking and then became like a pounding. Like,
oh my God.
But it was like quick, you know, it was like a ting 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 and like a pause. And it was like a bum 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 bum. And then that was it. There was no more knocking.
I don't know if that was a sleep paralysis situation or if that was just a haunting.
A haunting?
Yeah, maybe that ghost room was... I mean, that's what I meant to say. That maybe that room was just a ghost.
That whole room was just ghost.
Yes.
Fuck.
And you don't remember what the voice was saying?
No, it's just like no, I don't remember that.
Was it a jarring...
No, it didn't even sound that weird. It was just like a voice that clearly wasn't fitting in.
Okay.
But it didn't really... Obviously, it didn't say anything that stood out to me. It didn't really sound like monstrous or...
Right,
or
it
like,
just didn't sound like Charlie
or
Day.
anything. It just didn't sound like, you know, it sounded out of place.
Okay. Oh, wow.
So those are like the three main that I can remember off the top, like off the dome. And I think the three ones that kind of get the point across the most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit's scary, man.
It's all right.
That devil one fucks up.
Yeah, that one's sick. That one, like, I love telling people that one. The face, like, yeah, you can tell people, like, who aren't, they don't know anything about sleep paralysis. Like, they go from, like, curious to intrigued to horrified. All in that one story, and I'm like, this is sick.
Yeah.
This is the most entertaining I've ever felt.
Ah, man. See, this is why I love telling horror stories, because now I'm scared, and now I'm like, oh God, Javi, please don't leave.
Well, I'm leaving.
Oh, no. Well, I think that about wraps up.
Really? How far are we in?
Like an hour and 30 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a good podcast.
Yeah.
What a good pilot.
Thanks.
Yeah. So what's your outro? Hit me right. I know you don't have one ready. Hit me with it right now, though. On the fly.
An outro?
Yeah, an outro. On the fly.
Oh, God. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you on the flip side.
Oh, no. We have to talk about this.
I don't know. What should I say?
Let me see. Let's switch roles. You have a wig, so I can pretend to be you.
They're all upstairs.
Okay. Let's see. Just pretend I'm Julie for a second. Just pretend Julie's got a really deep voice.
Okay.
So if I were you, I'd be like, all right, and that about wraps it up. We've been going for.
Like an hour and a half.
We've been on for an hour and a half. It's been a great pilot. It's been great talking to you, Javi. Where can the people follow you? And that's where I come in. I go like,
that is what I was gonna say.
And I'm like, okay, yes. Yeah, you want to see my stream? Twitch.tv/BangChanTV. You can also follow me on Twitter at @callmejavi_.
There you go.
Because some other douchebag took Call Me Javi.
What a loser.
Yeah, right? Oof. Fuck that guy.
Yeah. And, anywhere else?
No, that's it. Twitter and Twitch.
Okay.
My Instagram and stuff is kind of like mostly just personal, I guess.
Okay, fair.
And
I will also post it on the description.
Yeah.
And I'll also post it on my social media, maybe. Which, by the way, is Infinity Jewels on Instagram. The blog is infinityjewels.wordpress because I have not bought the domain yet because I suck still. And on Twitter, I think I'm at Fumbledork on Twitter still because some lame ass who has not used her Twitter in like 2+ years or more took Infinity Jewels.
Wow. Rough. There's somebody on Twitch who has BangChan.
Oof.
That is literally just an empty channel. It doesn't even follow anybody.
Oof.
That's why I'm BangChan TV.
That's rough.
I know. Fuck that guy.
Thanks for listening.
Wait. How often are you posting these?
The goal is to do once a week, but I know after episode 3, I'm going to start being awful.
Be a little rough. What's the goal, though? What day of the week?
Oh, I don't know.
You probably figure that out.
Yeah.
Gotta keep your viewers, gotta let them know when.
I don't know. What's a good day to post?
I think it doesn't matter.
Because I feel like podcast listeners listen more to podcasts during the week because you listen to it on your commute to work and whatever.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think it matters when it's posted.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that matters is time of day is probably important to get out there. Because in the end, it's recorded. They can listen to it whenever they want.
That's true.
But just so they know, some people like to be, the minute it comes out.
Well, it depends because I have to go and figure out this whole RSS feed.
I think bullshit. I think I've never made a podcast in my life, but I think like a noon release time on some day of the week sounds sweet.
That sounds beautiful.
People are about to hit lunch. People are about to. Yeah.
When they drive home, they get excited for the rest of their day. Like, wow, she posted another video or whatever. Me,
you just woke up.
Yeah. There you go.
Click on the podcast.
I will also try to be posting this on iTunes and Spotify.
Okay.
And eventually maybe on YouTube with like just a random picture because I don't feel like doing a video podcast anymore. I've done this entire episode on my PJs and it has been awesome.
But on that note, little teaser. Maybe one day, you'll see me back. We'll see us back.
There you go.
On my Twitch channel.
There you go.
Recording an episode of this podcast.
Yeah.
Live.
And you'll get to see my beautiful face.
Live
and
for the
Javi's
people.
okay face.
Mm-hmm. Damn right.
Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any comments or feedback, or like I said, if you want to be a guest on the podcast, just let me know at any of my social medias. You can also email me at infinityjewels@gmail.com. Any last words, Bangchan?
Goodbye, everybody. Thanks, Julie, for having me.
Thank you for coming, yes.
Oh, we forgot to do the ad read.
Oh, yes, because we're famous.
This podcast has been brought to you by twitch.tv/BangChanTV.
Oh, wow. He's donated so much money to us.
Yep.
Yeah, he's awesome. Let's do like an actual ad read for that, right? Okay, so yeah, definitely if you're in for some fun goofs, some fun times, some passports with papers, please.
Stamped. I'm eating a Slim Jim now.
He is. This is not a Slim Jim ad, though.
Yeah, we're not sponsored. I just thought the show would be over by now, so I'm just gonna eat this.
So just head on over to twitch.tv/BangChanTV.
That's me.
Haha. Please subscribe.
Please subscribe. If you have Twitch Prime, if you have Amazon Prime account, you can subscribe to me for free.
And if you don't, then still subscribe to him for not free.
Yeah.
There you go. Have a great weekend, guys. Peace out. See you next